Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I'm Sunny Pancholi, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge sharing community. We have one such industry titan on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. Srinath Nagendra. He has a distinguished 3-decade-long career journey in senior leadership roles across diverse industries like FMCG, consumer durables, air conditioning, and refrigeration, which is replete with a comprehensive skill sets that encompasses functions like innovation, sales, distribution, channel management, market execution, supply chain, procurement, and after-sales service. He has made significant contributions to the growth and success of global and Indian multinational corporations like Coca-Cola, Voltas, Pepsico, Whirlpool, etc. At present, he is running his own company, Firmus Ventures Pvt Limited, which is focused on management consulting, technology consulting, and enabling bootstrapped startups in India and the USA. He has enabled an EV tech startup, which is Series B funded in the USA now, and is on the advisory board of many startups. He also enables accelerated growth for companies as interim CEO, COO, CBO, and CGO across the FMCG and engineering industries. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, Mr. Nagendra.
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you for this wonderful introduction. I think it was pretty comprehensive.
All right. So, could you begin by letting our viewers know about your career journey so far with important accomplishments and particularly how you managed to reach your current role?
Yeah. Thank you, Sunny, for this question. Wonderful question. See, as you already described pretty well, I began my journey after my engineering, and I worked across industries, starting with refrigeration and air conditioning, followed by consumer durables. And in the later part of my career, it was with FMCG companies. So I worked for Voltas, I worked for Whirlpool in consumer durable industry, I worked for Pepsico, I worked for Coca-Cola. And in my last role, I reported to the region director and CEO of Coca-Cola, based out of Gurgaon and subsequently in Bangalore. And I was leading multiple functions, including innovation. So I was directly responsible for the South Asia region for the business development and operations. Parallelly, I led innovation vertical, which was catering to the entire globe. So it was almost 12 years of experience in Coca-Cola. In Coca-Cola, I also led a small vertical called Accelerator. This is like a Microsoft Accelerator or Google Accelerator, where we enable startups to come in, nurture them, and grow them. So this, in nutshell, has been my experience for the first 29 years in the corporate world. Subsequently, having led innovation and startup accelerator within the company, this startup work caught on to me. So what I did, I completed my corporate career, ditched my career actually, and decided to start my own venture. And I was advised to start it in US, and that's how my journey began. So with little background in software, I just took the jump and leap of faith, and with God's grace, with a lot of perseverance, I can say with a lot of happiness that we built a great startup in the EV ecosystem, electric vehicles. We built a software for electric vehicles, and the company is currently headquartered in New York. And we went through the entire journey from zero to one, as they mentioned in the startup ecosystem. We raised multiple funds, starting from zero to Series B, and in particular in US only. And despite COVID-1, COVID-2, and the war, all the challenges, it has been a huge learning experience for me building my own company. So working for a large corporation as a vice president or senior vice president or a director is a different thing, ball game. But working for your own company and starting it from zero, it's a totally different journey. So that has been my journey. And in the last 5 years, along with my company, I have built multiple startups in India. I worked for multiple companies. That is my passion, working with entrepreneurs. So this is what I do through my company. I build companies, entrepreneurs to scale to the next level of growth. But I am also on the advisory board of multiple startups. For the rest of my life, that's what I intend to do, build multiple companies.
Mr. Srinath, thank you for the excellent start to this interview. And it's an honor to interact with someone who exudes such a strong corporate personality. All right, so
Thank you.
continuing our conversation, our viewers would like to know, as you have served various roles across several functions, which of them have you found the most challenging and why?
So it's a nice question. See, every role has been pretty interesting for me throughout my career because I call myself as a builder actually because I like building things, stuff, whether it is supply chain, whether it is sales, whether it's building distribution. But if you ask me to name uh, distinct challenges, one of the distinct challenges, I will name three actually. One of the distinct challenges was in the last leg of my career in Coca-Cola, since I led innovation was expected to deliver a lot of new stuff to enable growth. So, which means breakthrough innovation. So, when you do breakthrough innovation, most people have not heard of it. Like when before Google came, nobody heard about it. Before Zoom came, like the conversation we had, we used to converse over phone calls. So, this was a breakthrough innovation I led through in Coca-Cola. So, and I had to build a product anywhere in the globe, then get the results out of it, and also make it commercially viable. It was a pretty challenging project, but I took it up. For me, no has been never an answer. So, if despite many people telling me that this will not succeed, including the very topmost people globally, I took up this project and I did many projects, but this one was the biggest because I had to develop the product in China, get approvals from US, then get it scaled up in India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sri Lanka, the South Asia region. And subsequently, when it took off, it went to many parts of the globe. That has been one of the biggest challenges. Working with cross-functional leadership across the globe, convincing them to get the things done and get their approvals. At the same time, finding ways how to make things possible. That has been one big journey. That was first challenge. The second challenge has been post my corporate career. I had to pick up a consulting arrangement with Tata Group, one of the largest groups actually. I won't name the project, but I was asked to build an IoT product again. Again, it was a mind-boggling breakthrough project which nobody had done, but I took it up because challenges actually excite me. I had to develop the machine consumer-facing product to the audience based out of Hyderabad. Then the vendor, one vendor of the software vendor have was in Greater Noida. Then the hardware was in Bangalore. So working with three different fields, working on the brief given by the CEO and the leadership team of Tata Group. I built it over 18 months and delivered the project successfully. I had my own doubts, but then after delivering it, I got so much confidence that I can build any product and make things happen. Not just building the product, making the product commercially viable. In the sense, you can build products, but then if it is not going to bring revenue to the table, it's of no use. So I believe ideas are good unless executed, and if it doesn't bring moolah to the table, as I say, it's of no use. So my forte has been building this, and the last and the biggest challenge has been quitting a paid corporate job, then jumping onto a developed first world country like US, building a product from scratch, raising funds, and owning a company which gives you a lot of joy and making it successful. When we read in the newspaper, this company became a unicorn, this company became a multi-millionaire company. It looks nice, but then when you do it yourself, you understand the challenge list goes beyond that. So these three pretty much challenges will remain with me for the rest of my life because it was very very tough. But then a huge learning experience because it made me feel that I can do anything, provided you put your heart and soul, and obviously also get support from a lot of other stakeholders in the journey. But then I am happy that it happened in my life, and I'm grateful to many people.
Mr. Srinath, thank you for sharing your experience with us, and it's an amazing journey you had so far. Okay, so let's move ahead. And could you please let our future leaders know that you have held some really prominent roles across firms, and now you are also willing to assume some non-executive roles. So, what is your success mantra?
See, my passion is, if you see my LinkedIn profile, I have written very clearly. My passion is to enable entrepreneurs, whether they are startup entrepreneurs or they are SME entrepreneurs, be it a 50 crore company or a 10,000 crore company. I worked across multiple streams. One of the challenges, what I've seen in the Indian context in particularly is people lack the managerial expertise, or they lack the digital experience, or they don't know how to transform one scale to the next level. They're all pretty good entrepreneurs have building a companies, but then to take to the next level, something is missing. That is where I come in and plug in myself and build it. If you ask me success mantra, there are no shortcuts, but I personally believe it has to be defined routines followed consistently with perseverance, and despite all the hurdles what we face on a daily basis, is the success for any company. And you should show up every day. Basically, what I feel is, it's like in sports, say that you got to show up every day. If you show up every day morning and beginning your exercise or your jog or athletics, you're going to win. So there is no day you can avoid to what you can call skip. So if you follow discipline, follow with consistent routines, even if you're an average guy or even if it's an average company, success is bound to happen. So that is my success mantra. So there are no shortcuts. Yes, we can accelerate the growth and prepone the success, but then we got to be consistent, consistent in discipline, consistent in routines, and the compounding effect will be felt pretty soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Mr. Srinath. Okay, so let's move ahead. And my next is on ESG and corporate governance. So here it is. How and when did you develop an interest in ESG?
See, the word ESG has been lingering around for quite some time, especially in the recent past. But my what I can call interest has been with sustainability for a long time, because it resonates with me. And being Indians and being part of the developing world and emerging country, we use our the way we consume, the way we use the products has been very sustainable. India is still a very sustainable country compared to developed countries like US, where the per capita consumption of anything is 10x or 100x of what we consume. So my focus throughout my entire journey has been with energy. How do we make the products more energy efficient? How do we bring down the energy? Because we are an energy starved country. We now become energy surplus, but then we still import a lot of oil from Middle East. If the more the machines what we use, the more the plants become energy efficient, the transition to renewable energy from the fossil fuel energy, this is what interested me all these years, and I've been part of multiple projects throughout my journey. The second element, which I feel which is neglected, but then a lot of companies focus, but a lot of attention still need to happen, is water, because we feel water is free and we can use it the way we want. But water is a very scarce resource. Every industry uses water, and I particularly believe that whatever water we consume, for whether it's at home or whether it's in the industry, we got to give it back. We got to replenish and recharge the ground, or else the groundwater is depleting in India. And India is one of the largest extractor of groundwater in the world. And I believe every single industry, whether it is SME, listed company, unlisted company, you name it, they got to focus on water. Because if you're in the apparel industry, you're going to consume a lot of water. If you're running a Coca-Cola plant, you're going to consume a lot of water. Even if you're a textile industry, whether you're in an automobile industry, you're going to consume a lot of water, because you're going to do powder coating. So when you consume water, it's your responsibility to remain water positive or water neutral, so that the water conservation happens. So I particularly believe that sustainability has to become the core part of every single individual, every single company. But in the last 2 3 years, all these things got clubbed. These were all related to environment. But then the second part of ESG is the social part, which is taking care of the human beings. Because at the end of the day, any company is made up of people. If you don't take care of people, if you don't respect them, irrespective of the levels, and if you don't what I can call nurture them, then it's of no use running a big company, whether you're a 5,000 company or a $10 billion company. You got to nurture people. People make the company. It's not the other way around. So I personally believe we don't have to do great stuff. All you have to do is just follow the rules of the land, pay people well, if possible, and keep giving them nice jumps. At the same time, ensure that the compliances are met in terms of the provident fund, the gratuity, the overtime, because no human being can work for 12 hours. Sometimes they do. Then if you're doing making them do, then you have to go to pay them their overtime. A lot of companies skip this stuff knowingly or unknowingly. But then it's an area of improvement which is definitely needed in India and many parts of the Asian countries. So I believe human beings are critical to success of any company. The third part has been governance. The word corporate governance and governance has been spoken about party for a long time. But then in Indian case, I believe Mr. Narayan Murthy, the founder of Infosys, what who spoke about and brought about a change in Indian world. So that's how this corporate governance part has happened. Indians per se, by default, given a choice, they will just comply. Most of the companies just comply. Mere compliance doesn't help because you've got to go beyond mere compliance. We've got to ensure that the rules of the lands are followed, whether it is especially in the from the financial perspective. And I personally believe the company acts, the Indian government laws are pretty clear and pretty decent compared to many other what you can call laws of the world. So all you have to do is just follow the laws. You follow the laws, things becomes easy. But if you don't do it, it looks very tough. Because especially for a listed company, you've got to follow the rules of the land and not break because you are ultimately responsible for the shareholders. So I believe these three encompassed in the word ESG is pretty critical, and it's going to become more and more critical in the coming months and years for sure, because people will definitely buy products which are environmentally friendly, sustainable, where people are treated well, and where there are good corporate governance practices. We see a lot of stories, scary stories in the media about how companies hoodwink and fudge their financials. And this is not applicable to only India, this happens across the globe. But then companies who do really well, they sustain and remain in the journey for a long time. There are companies who have spent 100 plus years. If you ask me, Coca-Cola, it is more than 140 years now. So the reason why they've grown, or even for that matter, Tata Group in India, these are all companies which people look up to because they believe these companies are trustworthy. They take care of people. They follow the rules of the land. So I personally believe this is very, very critical thing. And it's a thanks for asking this question because when I'm speaking, it is coming out of my heart. So it's very, very important, ESG.
Rightly said, Mr. Srinath. Okay, so before we conclude our discussion on ESG and corporate governance, one more quick question to you. As an ESG and corporate governance expert, what values do you bring to the table?
See, I have been fortunate to work with pretty large companies. At the same time, work with very small companies and including startups. So, coming with that experience, when you're responsible for all the companies of the globe, like Coca-Cola, and for the matter, Tata is also a global company now. So, when you follow those rules, and if you are get able to implement this in every single company, then it will definitely benefit every single industry or any company. It doesn't matter whether you're a 10 crore company or a 10,000 crore company. If you start do the building blocks from day one, it will definitely yield positive results in the subsequent years for every company. What I personally believe is it is made too complicated actually by a lot of these big consulting firms and other stuff. All companies have to do is follow the laws. That's it. Pay the people, file your bank statements, pay your taxes. That's it. So I personally believe a lot of people are not trained or they do it knowingly or unknowingly. Personally, what I bring to the table is ensure that the compliances matter. And if people think compliances are not so important, then those companies are not on the right track because sooner or later they will need capital. See, if you want to attract if you want to build your company, there are two resources you need. You need people, human capital, you need financial capital. How do you get those capital? You got to attract people. If you want to attract people, people will come and work for those companies which follow the rules of the land, where they pay well, where they take care of the people. And if you want capital, you can't just go to banks again and again and raise funds. Eventually you got to hit the stock exchanges, you got to raise money for the market. If you're going to raise money for the public, there is a huge responsibility on your shoulders, because you're responsible for your shareholders, for every single the stakeholder. So I personally believe India has made a lot of progress. If you see the number of companies which are in the stock exchange already, and I personally believe in the next by the end of this decade we'll have 2x or 3x of the companies being listed in the stock exchange, and that includes SMA exchange. So, which is good for business, which is good for people. The stock market is going to boom, and a lot of opportunity for everybody. So, I personally, what I want to do for the rest of my journey is work with unlisted companies, listed companies, bring my expertise, learn together, work together, and collaborate, so that each of these companies becomes move from 100 crores to 1000 crores, 1000 becomes 5000, deliver my expertise in these areas. This is what my journey I feel, and that's why I've taken up, I've become an independent director in the last couple of months. So that's what I intend to do for the rest of my life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so let's move ahead. And my next is on technology, since it has become an integral part of our life now. So, what are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen in your field with changes in technology? That is part A. And part B is what changes do you expect to see with technology like IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, big data, Web 3.0, etc.?
Yeah, it's a great question, Sunny. See, if you really see, I've been exposed to all these technologies thanks to me leading innovation in Coca-Cola and subsequently being an entrepreneur in US and India. I worked with literally 1,000 startups in the last 5+ years. I've devoted my time, so I'm exposed to each of these technologies, and I know the relevance of each of these technologies for companies. But then using those technologies to put it into practice with larger listed companies or unlisted companies is the challenge. While the very big companies have embraced it, the smaller companies are yet to embrace, or they're in a very, very nascent stage. If you ask me, the changes which have definitely happened in the last 2 decades, and definitely in the past 1 decade, is the way we communicate. If you see, look at the way we are communicating now. The last 10 years back, it was a struggle. It was only voice call. Now we can do video calls, and thanks to COVID, all the work can be done through video communication throughout the globe. And this has made things easier for every single individual and every single company. So the first part is communication. So every single company should embrace the new technology and the tools to communicate better within the organization and outside the organization with every single stakeholder. The second part obviously is data, because every single company, whether small or big, they're churning a lot of data. Even a small company, if you ask me, a small 100 crore company, when they're selling to various customers, it is data again. There are transactions which are happening. When the transactions happen, it's a mine of data which is available with each company. Most of the companies don't know how to use it, or they have not done much with it. But then things are moving in the right direction, and multiple companies, including small and big, have started using the data to mine it properly, and what you can call use those data to take scientific decisions or informed decisions, how to predict the future sales, how to invest new capital to build a new plant. All this is based on data. So the first is communication, the second is data. Third, obviously, they use all the tools. Blockchain has been there for the last many years, but it has become part of our life in the last many years in India, and it's going to accelerate further, because it's a digital ledger, decentralized, and there is no way corruption can happen, because it replicates. So blockchain has got into every single field, whether it is banking, whether it is education, whether it is agriculture. You can know from where the seed was sourced. When you see a finished product of a food product, you can know where it was the seed was sourced, how it was grown, where it was grown, at what temperature it was grown. So you can see the entire chain of data, and the customers will be happy to see that they're buying and eating the right product. That is in the agricultural space. So then IoT, if you ask me, I have been personally involved with a lot of IoT projects, both on the consumer side and on the industrial side. We built a lot of companies are building digital factories now. Actually, we don't need too many people in the plants today because most of the machines have become automated. So the Internet of Things have permeated into every single industry. So the data is used to predict the maintenance, predict the way the production is happening, predict the requirement of labor. So Internet of Things have become part of our life. If you see from the consumer side, if you see, we have got fans which have become IoT. You might have seen it. Or you can switch your AC even before you reach your home or your microwave. Everything is work through the apps today. If you have an app, moment you leave your office, you switch on your click your AP, click the app and select few buttons. Your microwave will be on, your geyser will be on at home. By the time you come, you'll be visited and welcomed with the nice music through your Alexa. So things have changed in India. Homes have become smart because I personally believe we got to focus on energy, water conservation. See, in these fields, the IoT has played a great role. And the last field, obviously, and the latest buzzword is AI, artificial intelligence. It is especially in the last couple of months, it has caught on heavily, and we really don't know where it will take us. But then it's all for the good, and it's very positive, and it is getting integrated with every single technology and in every field, and it will be good for the humanity. That's what I feel. So I personally believe every single company should embrace these technologies. The sooner the better, because that will give them the edge and it will take them forward. People who don't want to embrace, they'll be left behind as the dinosaurs. That is the message.
That was really insightful of you, Mr. Srinath. Okay, so let's move ahead. And this brings us to the last question of the session. And here it is. We are building a community of industry stalwarts. The move is meant for cross pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. So, what are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the whole team of World Development Corporation?
First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Heval Mehta and Mr. Zishan Patan and the World Development Corporation for this laudable initiative, actually. Because I personally am part of many communities and many groups, WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, and webinar groups. I believe any community, when it is getting built, it should be definitely to yield results. And with World Development Corporation and with the leadership of Mr. Zishan and Heval Mehta, I personally believe that. The initiative what they've taken, especially in corporate governance and ESG, through by making people do the becoming independent directors or certified directors for ESG, is going to become a huge what you can call opportunity for not just me but for every single qualified guy, because it will definitely add value to not just the companies where they're going to work, but it's also going to add a significant contribution to the whole country. Because imagine if you're having 1,000 professionals or 5,000 professionals, which World Development Corporation will be grooming, or through regular meetings or through webinars, if they work together, a team can make huge change and they can change the world. So I personally believe and thank World Development Corporation for launching this initiative, and I will be a part of that. And I definitely hope it will yield huge results, not just for the companies, but for the whole country. And we definitely need it.
Great. It was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire the future leaders. Thank you, Mr. Srinath and Nagendra, for joining us today. Wish you the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute has unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds.
Thank you, Sunny, and thank you so much. This interaction with Director Institute has been pretty good for me the last couple of months. The team has been very supportive in answering all my queries, and I happen to connect to Directors Institute by chance. I would have missed it. So my first choice for anyone who would like to partner and enhance their career at the later part of their life, or get knowledge, would be to partner with Direct Institute, because the models are awesome, especially the quizzes. I liked it. And I will continue to do those quizzes because it's a huge learning curve. And well done, actually. And thank you for all the support, and really appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us today. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Sunny. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.